In a historic move, New York City's Council's Committee on Women's Issues held its first ever hearing on street harassment of women and girls in New York City this past Thursday, October 28th.
I actually put this meeting together with a group of young women from my district who were being harassed on a daily basis on their way to school. And I just think that it's time to bring attention. As a chair of Women's Issues, I had this great opportunity to be able to bring this issue here today.
Well, street harassment has probably existed since the advent of streets. This is the first ever hearing in New York City to specifically address this pervasive issue. It's an absolutely historic occasion.
Street harassment is a form of sexual terrorism. Women never know when it might happen, by whom, or how far it could escalate. Because of street harassment, from a young age, women learn that public spaces are male territory.
Young women are experiencing this earlier and earlier. It used to be more teenagers, and now we're actually hearing from 11 and 12-year-olds that they're experiencing this.
What is your experience in terms of working with the parents so that they can empower their kids?
We really do have to work in a very broad way.
What we saw here today was an incredible response from women, all ages. We heard stories that just ripped your heart apart. No young woman at the age of 14, 15, or 16 should have to experience what we heard today in this testimony.
We asked New York women what their experience has been with street harassment.
A garbage truck slowed down so that they could drive next to me as I walked. And the passenger in the garbage truck started shouting obscenities at me about my clothes that I was wearing and my body.
I was walking out of my apartment. There was a guy in his car just like lingering there, this fat, ugly man. He said something like, "Hey baby," and whistled. He goes, "Well, look at what you're wearing." I couldn't help myself. I had to. So that's when I went crazy and I was like, "F off in your car and die."
I've been harassed since the age of 13, and it really bothers me that young girls are being harassed.
This historic hearing is making change already, affecting people's attitudes and jump-starting new programs and legislation.
I made a statement upstairs saying, I'm actually ashamed of some of the things I participated in when I was younger. And I would like to see some more males hear about this. I think anybody who hears about this actually will see it's not as innocuous as they may think it is.
Having a study on sexual harassment in New York City is really important. Folks are also talking about having harassment-free zones.
If it can change one guy from not doing it again, then it's worth the effort. I unfortunately think that harassment, bullying, being a jerk, is something that's been around since the beginning of time.
NYPD has to work with us. I think community residents and also New Yorkers knowing that these are unwelcome catcalling, and the opportunity to give men to be able to respect the women that live in New York City.
This is Resham Najan for NYPost.com.